Welcome everyone to episode 2 of Why I Love. You might recognize this exact place we're recording in because we just recorded Marisa's episode like 5 minutes ago. But now we're with Danzig Holland, Marisa's lovely boyfriend.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Of course, welcome Danny. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Danzig Holland. I go by Danny, and here I am.
So Danny, as the name implies, and as you probably heard me and Marisa talking about, the whole point of this series is me hearing people talk about the things they love. I love hearing about people's passions. So what would you say you are passionate about?
I like film and video games. I like going to the gym, but I'm not as passionate about it as Marisa is. Really just those two things, really, honestly. A lot of my life has been like trying stuff out, feeling passionate about it, and then really getting deep with it, and then realizing like it's not as a priority as like I thought it was once, type of thing.
Okay. We kind of talked about that with Marisa, talking about getting into something, but the hardest part is staying in that thing, right? Is there anything right now that you would say you're trying to stay into or you want to get into?
That's the thing. Like, for instance, for example, I love video and film and stuff like that. And then I was going to school at Pikes Peak Community College, me being from Springs. And then I did radio and television for a bit. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I don't like this. Because it was just news television, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I still have a passion for film, but I'm just trying to find that avenue, like next. Okay, I think like the directorial side, like in person versus like technical directing, like switchboards and stuff like that. Like, I'd much rather be like on set on an actual film. But to answer your question, one thing I'm really into right now is honestly that I've always been into, really just video games. And that's the thing, like I ask myself, like what is something that I can do, that I love to do, and then be really good at it to where I get paid for it, and it won't be a job. It's just something I do, and I just so happen to get paid for it. So yeah, to answer your question, video games. I've been playing video games since like I can't even remember, like a child, you know what I mean? And throughout life, trying to find out different things that I want to do, the one thing that stayed consistent has always been video games. So, I feel like I can, I want to start streaming, and if I make money on it, that's cool. But regardless of, like I said, anything I've ever done, whatever career avenue I've done, I've always played video games.
So. I think it's an interesting thing, being especially, late 20s, once you get into your early 30s, figuring out who you are, and kind of going back to what you said, finding something you love that you can turn into a job, making your passion your job. I think that's such a tough thing, especially when it's something such as video games, right? Because I think a lot of people love video games, but how can you make that a job? It's always a tough question. And even with film as well, art in general, it's tough, and that's one thing you kind of realize is everything's hard. No matter what you get into, you just have to choose your hard, right? And kind of let's bring it back a bit then. Whether it's film or video games, where did your sort of passion and love for that start?
Since I was a kid, honestly, I've always played video games. Like, I'm 30 now, I just turned 30, and it's just so weird because, like, me being 30, every year that you're on this earth, you look back and you're like, the thief is comparison is the thief of joy, they say. So when you every year that you have a birthday, you're looking back, you look around, you're like, maybe I should be here, I should be there, I should be further, or I should be whatever. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've had many trips around the sun, and I realized that I'm just chasing more happiness now than I am a paycheck. Because I mean, for a while, I mean, I was doing quinceañeras and stuff like that, like videos. We had a few opportunities, and a couple $1,000 paychecks. You know what I mean? Just doing something that I thought I loved, and I think you just gotta try it first. You know what I mean? But where did it start for me? I would say, yeah, I don't know. Just my friends all played it throughout school, and now, especially being an adult too. It's like I have like 7 or 8 friends that I'm still consistently friends with for like almost 20 years, and we all have our separate lives, our girlfriends, our partners, and some have kids. And honestly, the only way we stay in contact is playing games together, because we're all in different cities and things like that. So for me, it's still a good way to connect with friends. And I mean, and I'm a taken man for the past like 7 years, so it just keeps you out of like trouble you shouldn't be, like, at least for me, you know what I mean? Like, it's a hobby I can enjoy where I'm at home. I'm not like drinking or getting in trouble or at clubs or bars, you know what I mean? And it just works for me all around, especially now that I'm newly sober. It's just, I don't know, just cool. But yeah, I started a long time ago, and I mean, my dad played video games, and then, yeah, I've always just played it. I can't even remember. It's just been so long.
Congrats on the sobriety, by the way.
Thanks, sir.
How long has it been?
Well, it's crazy because I've tried a few times in my life, and I never thought I was like a quote unquote alcoholic until, you just justify it to yourself. You know what I mean? Like so a long day, I have a drink, and then next thing you know, a few long days in a row, and then it's just habit forming, and then next thing you know, you get really drunk one night, and then you have a headache, and they call it the hair of the dog. The next day, the only way to kind of get rid of it is to drink again, and then that turns into. So I went probably like more than a year straight drinking every single day. I was spending $20 a day at least, so it was about $680 a month. And then my girlfriend, your sister, so she really opened my eyes. Because I would always deny it. She doesn't drink like that, so seeing me drink a lot bartending and serving, it kind of goes hand in hand. You're just around it, you know. So yeah, it's been like 2 months now, but for me, it really I felt a lot of anxiety, like chemically, I guess I was just coped with my emotions with alcohol, and then when I didn't have it, I guess it's withdrawal symptoms, like I would just get really crazy anxiety, because all this stuff is just pushed down, and my body didn't know how to handle it, so I got really drunk one night, and then the next day I'm like, okay, I'm done. And so, yeah, I had really bad withdrawal symptoms, so I didn't work for a few weeks, chills, everything like that. So kind of looping around, what I want to do is stream video games and have a channel, even a YouTube channel, all that stuff like that, and try to bring that sobriety into the gaming community. Because I see that in podcasts. There's a bunch of health and wellness podcasts about sobriety and things like that. And there's tools, that I definitely use, but I don't really see it that I personally witnessed in the gaming community of being sober. So maybe one episode a week is about, playing video game and talking to someone who's also sober, their story, or just dealing with it. You know what I mean? Because you'd be surprised. I have this app that tracks all that stuff, and there's a community of people who are trying to be sober, or they are sober. Every day is a battle for a lot of people, but it's a lot more people than you think that are at least trying to be sober, realizing they have a problem, but they're not saying anything. So I'm trying to bring that into the gaming community, and hopefully share my testimony about it. So that's my whole plan, But man, my withdrawal symptoms were so bad that I don't even have any cravings to drink at all. It was really bad. And I drink these Heineken Zeros, just for the carbonation. Like honestly, I mean, uh, like the carbonation and the Zen. I don't know if you're sponsored by Zen, but if anyone is trying to get sober, you know, in AA they say don't give up your cigarettes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cigarettes, because I'm telling you, nicotine, you'll murder someone without it. If you are addicted to nicotine, if you're trying to be completely sober, like keep your cigarettes.
Hey, Zen, sponsor Danzig. Danny here. Um, it's interesting, right? Because I feel like it's something I've heard about withdrawals. How it's something that when you go through it, it's something you never want to experience again, right? And I think going back to sort of the video game aspect of it, it's a form of escape. You know, video games. A lot of people use it as an escape. Even myself, I can't say it's something I do to have fun with my friends and have that escape from my job, the real world in a sense. Would you say it's the same for you, and has it helped with your sobriety journey?
I mean, that the thing is I actually avoided video games for a while when I was trying to get sober because I felt like I couldn't play video games and get the same like dopamine hit if I wasn't drinking.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I would avoid video games because I'm like the second I sit in this chair, play with my friends, I just get I don't know if it's an ADHD thing or I'm not even diagnosed with that. Maybe just diagnosing it, but I always want to be doing something, you know. And I think that's what this is. Like this could be soda water. It doesn't have to be zero. It's just something in my hands. Something just, and I used to vape and smoke cigarettes and that was always just something just to do, you know what I mean? That's why I like sunflower seeds, you know what I mean? I have some right there. Just because it's just doing something, you know what I mean? I think I don't handle boredom well. To make things more fun, I would just rely on drinking.
I see.
But that's not good. You know what I mean? You need to be okay with being bored. Like you don't have to do something all the time. And that's what I struggle with. But it's definitely video games is definitely an escape. I would say. I think it's a healthy way of dealing with your long days. You know what I mean? Escape in this way, comparatively to drinking to escape. You're literally like, poisoning your body. You're all inflamed, and it's just, especially depending on your genetics too, that can be really bad, really fast. But yeah, I would say it's an escape, and also it's just again a way to connect with people that live in different cities or whatever. Everyone has jobs, you know what I mean? Hey, I'll play for like an hour. Sometimes I just get on there to talk. It's not even really just games sometimes. So I think just finding new ways to be addicted to other stuff, like connection, Hey, we get online, just talk to you, you know what I mean? For like an hour or something like that. But yeah, I mean, definitely an escape. But
I think an escape in sort of a different way, right? Where some people use it as an escape from their lives, right? Whereas somebody like myself and maybe somebody like you as well, it's more as an escape in the sense of, oh, this is giving me something to do, whether or not I'm actually playing the game, enjoying the game, I'm talking to somebody else, having that social aspect of it. Because I find myself doing the same thing. Like sometimes I'll turn on my Xbox, join a party, Discord, whatever, and we won't even play a game. We'll literally just talk, play like Clash Royale on our phones, and just like have conversations. And I think that's an aspect of video gaming and video games in general that I don't think some people understand is the social aspect, where that is just one of the best ways I've ever made connections. Like the ways I've stayed connected with the people that I'm closest with, my friends, is through video games. And whether or not we're still playing the same way we used to, it doesn't matter because the connection's still there.
I used to feel like, so I've had my PC now for a couple of years, but my group of friends, I'm like, dang, like I haven't like, do they even like me anymore? And like, hung out with them in a long time, just moving and this other stuff, and I'm like, I'm not, like, what's going on? And then one day, I got my PC, and then they're like, oh yeah, I mean, we don't really even talk in the group chat, really just get online and talk. And I'm like, oh, nothing has changed. We all like each other the same. We're all just busy. So it's never really anything personal. Um, but what was I gonna say? But I don't know. A lot of the times I've heard like, oh, you're 30, you still play games? Like what? It's like kind of frowned upon. But it's crazy because you know, drinking and clubbing and going to bars is so normalized. Where like, look, an adult playing video games looks like you're a child or it's bad, versus going to the club or just doing whatever, you know what I mean? Or strip club or something like that is like normal. You know what I mean? That's kind of like weird. It's kind of like backwards, you know?
Yeah.
Like what? But I don't know. I think that I don't think it has anything to do with being childish or not. Like, I mean, even like for like a woman, you know, would you rather have your man like out doing something, you know what I mean? Or just have him at home, you know what I mean? Just like playing games with his friends online. I mean, I don't know. Everyone has their thing, but um, yeah, I've just always done it. If I can make money from it, like I'm doing it for free. You know what I mean? But I feel like people have lots of goals and aspirations. It's just which one do you want to get first? You know, like yeah, like some people I work with, they're a little bit younger and they're like, and I'm, you know, they're like, oh, you're a server, or you're a bartender, like, but in reality, you know, bartenders make pretty good money. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're a bartender, you play video games, like, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, again, comparisons of thief of joy. Like, if someone can easily get a certification or do like a couple, like an associate degree really quick, or if they want it, whatever, get a job, get a good paying job probably, but not be happy. You know what I mean? So for me, it was a lot of learning about myself, and it's like, is there a way I can just, and it's not going to happen overnight, but I think I'm just really chasing that overall happiness for me. You know, like will it take me longer than, you know, making great money, like playing video games, but then does someone have a 2-year degree or 4-year degree? I mean, I don't know, but I can tell you that I'll be happy. So that's kind of where my head's at, honestly. Just, and it's hard to, you know, try to live life without a clear mind. You know what I mean? So now that I have a clear mind, I'm like, okay, I can kind of do things a little bit differently, make the right choices. I mean, because yeah, I was drinking way too much.
And I think that's to say too, we're all on our own journeys, and I think comparing your journey to somebody else's journey is, like you said, comparison's the thief of joy. You're on your own journey, and it's always going to be different. You can't follow somebody else's footsteps or path, because their path is always going to be completely different to yours. And whether that's the journey to your goals, happiness in general, I think realizing this is my journey, and I don't have to compare it to anybody else's or follow what they did to get somewhere. I can do this how I want to do it and how I believe the best way to do it is. And nobody can tell me otherwise, you know. And like you mentioned, there's career servers, career bartenders where that's their job their entire lives. And it's funny thinking about what you said earlier about the idea that video games, and I think less so than, you know, especially with the rise of streaming and, you know, a lot of that being you know, jobs and actual income for a lot of adults now, with YouTube and everything. But especially 10 years ago, video games being seen as such a juvenile thing, a juvenile hobby, right? But like you mentioned, I kind of feel the same way where it's like, I'd much rather, you know, be at home playing video games every day than being at a bar every day, you know? And don't, yeah.
Your like other goals, you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to like work out and you're going to like bars and clubs all the time, you're not going to hit your main potential with the gym. You know what I mean? You can still hit that potential with the gym if you're eating right and playing video games. I don't know, it's just weird. Maybe I'm just like love video games and I'm just justifying.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone out there is like, oh, I only drink 0 like Bombay Sapphire has no calories.
Yeah.
I drink fresh squeezed juice, you know what I mean? Whatever, and like, again, you know, everyone has their own thing, but definitely more accepted now than comparative to then. Yeah, they're making a lot of money.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'll go to a bar,
Yeah.
I'll go to a club, um, but obviously to have something to do every day, I think video games a pretty healthy, great choice if for a daily hobby, you know. And I think if it's something that you want to pursue in whatever which way, however you figure it out, I think it's great. I mean, the saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the second best time is today, you know. And so I think whatever you want to go into, whether it is video games, whether it is going back to, the passion you had for film and videography, whatever it may be, you'll figure it out, but give yourself that time.
Yeah, they just kind of go hand in hand, as far as like entertainment goes. So if you like break down your life, you know what I mean, and you're like, what am I naturally good at? Like before learning, because I saw this thing where like who you were, it sounds crazy, but who you were when you were a kid, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, if you want to find out like what your passion is and like who you are, like who you were back then, or like the things that you liked, you know what I mean? Because this was before like, you went to school and like they told you this is how you have to do it. They like kind of conformed your mind to a certain way, and that's why some people feel lost. Like they go to school and they're like, okay, they did that schooling so they feel like they have to get a good job, and then after that they're like, well, I actually don't want to do this, or they did it for their family, or they did it just because they think they're supposed to. But if you look back at like who you were, you know what I mean? And if I look back, I think, well, I've always like tried to crack jokes. I've always loved film. I've always loved video games. You know what I mean? So if I can just, they all go hand in hand. You know, you maybe just do video games because I play them every day anyway, and then hopefully make some money off that. And once that happens, then I can dip my fingers into some film. You know what I mean? It just kind of goes hand in hand with entertainment. But one thing, is the older you get, the more you realize what you don't want. Whether that's what career, what partner, you just know what you don't want. So I heard this thing where it's like you really don't start like living until you're like 30. Where, at least for men, I feel like, that's what I heard, just because our brains kind of like develop, a little bit later.
Some a lot later, let's say.
Yeah, I was gonna say some like for me, like I felt like I learned. I've just naturally been stubborn my whole life, and you always hear like, "Oh, don't drink too much," But it's all about family stuff too. Like my mom, she would buy me alcohol when I was like, well, I don't know.
You're like, hold on.
What's the statute of limitations?
I think you might be fine now if you're
Yeah,
30. Yeah.
But no, she was the cool mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm playing games in my room in the basement when I was in high school, and I'm like, hey, can you buy me some alcohol? She's like, yeah. And I was get all trash, and my friends, we'd all like pause, and like they'd sneak stuff at home, and we would just take like a shot, but it just all makes sense. You know what I mean? And years later, like, it's just, not to get too deep, but yeah, I guess it's just, it does make sense. We are products, of how we're raised, and I used to, like, in you, like, your parents, they don't drink like that. They don't smoke, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do deep on it, but I mean, yeah, like, there's some times of, like, yeah, my sister, like, was in the opioid epidemic sort of thing, and, she's sober and clean now a couple of years, so she's doing good, had a baby. My mom did heroin back in the day, you know what I mean? And, yeah, it just, sometimes it's in our genetics just to be addicts, So just trying to break the cycle, So yeah, the only way, the safe way for me is just stay out of trouble. You know what I mean? Not be tempted. Don't put yourself in bad situations. Like, I like going to like restaurants or whatever, but again, I don't feel tempted. I don't. I really don't. Like even today, we had dinner. Some people got drinks, and I didn't. I just got a Pepsi just because. Like I said, that withdrawal was so bad. Like I was throwing up. I was like, gagging, like just dry heaving. Like I was just, I felt horrible. But chills, night sweats, all that stuff, and that's what a lot of addicts say. Like once you do that withdrawal, most of it's like I just don't ever feel that way again. I'm scared of that. So, yeah, I went on a tangent.
No, it's okay. It's great to let it all out too. I mean, it's interesting going back to what you said too about not wanting to play video games when you were trying to sober up because you weren't getting that same sort of dopamine hit without a drink in your hand, being there, which is, it's so funny how our brains can be wired to things, right? Like at the beginning of this year, I really worked at like social media detox, trying to rewire my brain and refocus because I just felt too attached to my phone and social media. And it's weird how you really can rewire your brain and relearn and reteach it to, you know, go back on these bad habits, right? Where now that you're sober, now you're kind of getting back to, and eventually I'm sure there's going to be a day where you sit down, play some video games with nothing but your mind, your hands in the game. It takes time to do these things, and yeah, I'm proud of you, man. That's awesome to hear.
Just one thing off the list, you know what I mean? It's, yeah, it just sneaks up on you, and then one day you realize, okay, I worked at a place, in Pueblo where like they would give you a free tall beer after your shift. And if you work 5 days a week, you're at least drinking, you don't have to, but I mean, again, like you feel like you had a long day, like, oh hey, you just clocked out, here's a free beer. And then in the head it goes like, I've already had a beer, I might, like what? That's just empty, I might as well kind of get tipsy. Like, you know what I mean? That turns into that, you know what I mean? But yeah, you can definitely rewire the brain. I mean, at this point, like, honestly, yeah, I mean, I just started getting into non-alcoholic beers recently. I went the first month completely just sober, which honestly I would say, if you're extremely addicted to alcohol, get like a physician's like assistance if you go cold turkey. I do not, that's one thing you can't die from. Let's go on cold turkey. That, like a doctor would say, like that's like one of the things that you can go cold turkey from. If you're like a serious, but it's so crazy to see that like, not a difference, but on that app that I have, there's a community of people who, some people are like, you don't want to compare, but man, some people are like bottles a day, like, or they had like they were drinking and had a car accident and their kid's in the hospital. Like, I'm just happy that I was able to get control of it before any of that stuff happened. Which brings me to another thing. I think shooters should be outlawed. Think about it. Like, when's the last time you got a shooter? Like, I mean, not a concert, not a thing. I mean, like, on a day-to-day. Like, when was the last time you got a shooter of alcohol?
Last time I got a shooter?
I'm not saying a concert or an event, like a football game. I mean, like...
For me personally, it's probably on my birthday, I think. But why do you think they should be outlawed?
Because they're the perfect size to put in your pockets.
I see.
Think about it. I mean, I have experience with this. Like, I would get like a 6-pack and like 2 to 4 shooters. You know what I mean? Drink it all in one night. But I've noticed to the point where like, if you go into a liquor store, next time you go into a liquor store, and look at the people getting the shooters. And I've been there. I'm just saying, like, I would say like 90% of them are full-blown alcoholics.
Okay.
Because they're doing it before work, they're putting it in their purse, or like on the way home because they're hiding it from their spouse or whatever.
I see. I never thought about that, actually.
Yeah, like they know they have a problem. You know what I mean? There was a moment where I was hiding alcohol. You know what I mean? And then even then, I'm like, I don't have a problem. She's just tripping. And then after a while, you're like, I'm a grown man. Why do I have to hide this? And that's what I told her. My partner, Marissa. I was like, you know want to drink? Whatever. I'm a grown man. You can leave. And she left. You're super serious, and I'm like, well, I don't want to like lose my 6-year relationship over alcohol. It's not even that serious.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. And then I was like, well, she only wants the best. I mean, so if someone tells you to slow down, like it's not like they are trying to set you up for failure. Like, sorry to make this like a sober podcast.
No, hey, this is a part of it. This is whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah,
So
going on in my life, it's just, So the shooter thing. I mean, they're just easily concealable. You know what I mean? Because typically, like, people drink socially. Now, if you drink privately, which I would do, You know what I mean? One beer socially at my job after I clocked out, and then privately, some people don't even have alcohol in the house. I only had it in the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think they should be outlawed. But that's just me. I'm not obviously not. Because I mean, that's just people have their thing. Maybe they just want to pregame before going to a concert, which totally cool. I have friends who most of my friends aren't sober. You know what I mean? But we've been friends for so long, they already know. Like they don't even tempt me. They don't even try. They're really supportive.
It's interesting, being somebody on the outside of that, not knowing much about alcoholism, or again, being somebody who, I don't drink very often, mostly because of the fitness, trying to stay on track with that. But it's interesting hearing that sort of perspective and point, especially on shooters, where it's something somebody outside of that world doesn't think about, right? Whereas, oh, like these sort of things, probably by design, are made that way. I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure like shooters, and you can fact check because I have no idea, but I'm sure a part of it was because of how it can be easily concealed. And let's be honest, big corporations, especially with alcohol, they don't care about your health. They could care less about your health. I mean, that's why alcohol is sold in the first place. Um, so it's interesting hearing that, and I think you've given us a lot of great insight and sort of advice, especially on the alcohol side of it. That's not where I was expecting this to go, but
That's the thing. I've never seen in my community. I mean, I watch stream videos all the time, mainly just like that queso dude. He's super sick.
oh yeah, queso.
I like that he doesn't really curse. You know what I mean? I've been trying to. I don't really curse that much, but I mean, just in general, like I watch streamers and stuff like that about game, not really in real life type stuff, but
More like gaming streams.
yeah, gaming streams, and I've never seen the connection, the correlation between someone like talking about sobriety and gaming, like in the same breath. You know what I mean? Not like every sort of stream, obviously, but I mean like no one. I don't know. Some people feel ashamed. You know what I mean? Like I was telling your sister, like she told her coworker that I was sober and like why I was sober, and she was like, "Are you mad?" I'm like, "No, I'm not mad. Like I wear it like a badge of honor." And there's actually a small community, or not small, but there is a community of people who are sober as well. Like I was at work, and they're like, "Oh, what drink's your favorite here? Like, what do you recommend?" And I'm like, honestly, like I'm sober. He's like, "Oh," because there's two people, and the lady was asking me like, "What drink I recommend?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sober." And he's like, "Oh, me too. What day are you on?" And I told him, like, "What day are you on?" He's like, "I'm on like a year." I'm like, "Dude, that's so awesome." Like, there's a sense of camaraderie, because even people at work, they're like, "You're sober? Like how?" It's like so crazy. They're like, "What happened to you? How messed up are you to be sober?" It's like, that's the thing. I was already messed up. That's why I'm sober.
Yeah.
And I'm a bartender, so they're like, they say, some people would say, like, they say, you can't trust a chef that's not bad. Don't trust a bartender who doesn't drink.
Yeah.
I totally don't agree with that, because it's like, I loved alcohol so much that I had to quit it. That's how much, I was talking about bartender.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about, But it's also, again, like, when you fasted for all those days, when you just did that, what?
The 50K?
50K, yeah. It's just that, the discipline, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, for me, it's like exposure therapy, It's like, it's funny, like, the second I got sober, a week later I was promoted to a bartender. Now, if
Wow.
you're religious or not, I don't know, but that's just like a test, you know what I mean? Just to see, but for me, I consider it exposure therapy. Like, I don't know, it's weird. The closer things are, sometimes the further it is in my mind. Like if alcohol was here, like, I wouldn't care. But when I wasn't sober, I went and sought the alcohol. Even, it's just weird how, like, it all works out. But back to kind of what we were saying. So yeah, hopefully I can make that correlation between gaming and just kind of be like a sober streamer. Let people know, like, yeah, any advice, maybe do a community board, people who are struggling, you know what I mean? And that also like video games. So they're kind of cool.
I think that's a fantastic idea. I mean, finding that niche somewhere, something like that. And obviously, I've never looked into it, but it's something I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And I think finding, again, that connection between, something you love and then something you love and experienced, right? being, because you could say being sober is something you're passionate about. It's like, hey, this is something that I did and I want to talk about it, and I want to make sure there's,
I never thought about that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe it. Well, I would say yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I mean, it's a non-negotiable. You know what I mean? Like no matter where I am, whether it's I just went and saw the rock band Turnstile, and there's just like other hardcore like rock sort of artists there, and like yeah, there's drinks everywhere, and but it's just a non-negotiable for me. You know, just how like people who are really into the gym, it's a non-negotiable. I'm gonna work out today.
that discipline,
Yeah, it's a not so it's a practice and discipline. Just like anything else. So
I, I think that's a great point too to make, is finding, that passion, that thing you love. I think a part of that is discipline, right? And being disciplined in general, I think, is an important thing for somebody to have in their day to day. Just discipline in anything, whether it's, the most common one being the gym, fitness, or again, staying away from any sort of vice, whether it's social media, alcohol, whatever it may be. Showing some discipline in your day to day, I think, is super important. And it's awesome to see that it's something you're advocating for, especially with something as dangerous as, alcohol can be for people.
yeah. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people, and you don't know until you hit rock bottom. Like people, you don't know like how bad someone's struggling until they hit rock bottom. Like on Instagram and stuff like that, you do see snippets of people's great times. You don't take a picture when you're crying. You take a picture when you're smiling.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Instagram is. But how many people are actually struggling? How many people actually watch game streams that in the back of their mind, like they're not using that as a distraction, but maybe their coping mechanism. Like I do that. Like at the end of the day, I work a long day. Hey, I'm gonna put on a queso stream and eat some food. Versus like how I coped with it before. I would get blacked out. I would just get so faded. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just the older I get, and that's a part of it too. I mean, I don't know. It's just you just kind of have to live and learn, and when that preparation meets the opportunity, like if you ever had like opportunities pass you up and you didn't realize like why you didn't get this or why it didn't happen for you, maybe you weren't ready for it. Like if I would have got a certain opportunity or a job position that was going to be lucrative financially, if I'm already an alcoholic, I have more money to be an alcoholic. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So there's definitely a rhyme and reason behind all of it. But right now, I mean, I'm just focusing on, just my overall health. I'm not really, gym's cool, don't get me wrong, but I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I don't really care. I mean,
You don't want to be Jeff Nippard?
I don't really,
Sebum.
I hate that. I don't really care. No, I just want to get more tattoos and play video games.
That's, hey, that's
And make money.
That's awesome. I would say, and you mentioned earlier, coming home, putting on a queso stream, and just that being your version of chilling out. Is that something you would want to be for people? What exactly would you say is your future plans or goals when it comes to sort of anything, or if it does have to do with sobriety and video games?
Honestly, I mean, just keep doing what I do. I mean, honestly, play video games, but instead, I mean, I have a camera, I have everything I need. And I can use my headset for a mic. So I mean, I really basically have. I want to get a new monitor, but another monitor. But besides that, just keep doing what I do and doing. Except this time, just hit record, and then I mean, at least people know, like, hey, there's a sober streamer out there, like watching his videos, and make a video of my testimony or something like that. And like, okay, well, this guy can do it, I can do it. So maybe being that little beacon of hope for somebody who's going through like a silent battle, or I mean, we know when we're not supposed to be doing something. We can see it before anyone else, but we justify it. So yeah, hopefully I can be just like I don't know, a little beacon of hope. Like, hey, this guy's like me. He likes to play video games, and he just got sober. I can get sober if that's what they want to do. but it's possible. I guess just kind of putting yourself out there and just, I don't know.
And to throw some ideas out there, it's something again I've never seen, but I think it would be cool to, go on YouTube, Twitch, whatever it may be, and just say, hit record, be like sober let's play day one, and then maybe in the parentheses be like days sober 44, whatever it is, and just go through a playthrough of a game, and then who knows, maybe accumulate to like, years down the line, all of a sudden, sober let's play number whatever, days sober 1000, whatever. I think that'd be cool.
It would also like hold me accountable as well, you know what I mean, in a way. You just build that little own personal community of gamers who like, are looking to you to be like, okay, yeah, like this guy's sober, and then imagine how much it would suck if you relapse and you disappoint, like, not just yourself, that's the main thing, but all the other people who are like, I don't know. But no, that's something definitely I've been thinking about, because I think to myself, like, I feel like we're all on this earth to better it. Whether that's in a big scale or just making a difference in someone's life positively, and the bigger you can reach that, the better, so that's honestly my goal, and oh my gosh.
They've been acting crazy this whole time.
And they're like, what are they, now this dog, what am I going to do with him? He needs to get sober, he's on seizure medication. Well, actually, if he gets sober, he might die. So.
Yeah, actually, maybe you should keep him on the drugs, maybe.
He needs to he's bumping in and stuff.
Yeah, again, like, I think it's a fantastic idea. I mean, even if not for anyone but yourself, to have those videos out there to keep yourself accountable, I think it would be super cool. And it also gives you sort of an excuse to play video games. Be like, hey, like I have, even if it's 1-2 people or for myself, the audience is there. And maybe if it's something I love, like, and I know you get into some niche stuff. Like, I don't know which game, what game were you playing? Or it's a super hard first-person shooter that you were playing.
Yeah, Ready or Not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just hit like console, so it's more of like not so much niche, but I had it like I'm gonna be one of those guys. I had it. I don't do that.
He had the beta.
Yeah. For a while. It was super cool. Honestly, I think I looked the other day. I beat it on hard, which is like insane. Like literally every assailant is like Chris Kyle, like Navy SEAL, like just expert.
Yeah.
But no, it's a fun game. I have like 400 hours on it.
Which is like I've seen him play this game, and I tried to play it one time just to try it out. The AI in this game, it's like Call of Duty on steroids, I swear.
Oh yeah,
So
you'll be like aiming at them, and you'll look away for a sec, and then they'll just start running at you with a knife or something.
yeah.
It's just super hardcore. You get points deducted if you don't. If they don't have a gun and you shoot them, or if it's not, they have to shoot first. It's just crazy. But lately I've been into a lot of like indie horror games. You know what I mean? Like those ones with episodes, like Fears to Fathom. There's others, just small stuff. I mean, the new Battlefield 6 is out, which is funny because I'm like, to my friends, I'm like, $70? You kidding me? But if you think about it, like, dude, these people like spent like years developing this game. $70 is not a lot for the years of work that someone puts in to like make these games. But I like old games too. I have the Left 4 Dead 1, Left 4 Dead 2. I mean,
Fantastic games, by the way, if you've never played them.
yeah. So now I'm just trying to play a little bit of everything. Everyone says that, even with music. I freaking hate that. When someone's like, "Oh, what kind of music?" Everything. Like, that's the worst answer.
Look, I mean, I think
I get it, but I'm saying like, yeah, it's a normal thing to say, which is kind of true. Everyone does listen to a little bit of everything.
that's the thing, though. Is like everybody does that. It's like
generic answer.
Yeah. You mentioned some specifics, so I think Ready or Not, at least in my opinion, something I don't know a lot of people have heard of, so that's cool. And then Left 4 Dead, classic, absolute classic. So
yeah, most definitely. Okay, sir.
Is there any other video games that you want to mention that maybe we could see a future stream, future video of yours on?
I mean, there's this game called Slackjaw that I'm looking to play here shortly. I've seen a few things on it. Basically, you're just, you play as a female, and basically you're kidnapped, thrown in the basement, and you have to escape.
Whoa.
So it's kind of like an escape room in a way, but it's first person, but it's like small games. You know what I mean? Like some are just like $5-6. Some have like subscription services where you get other small games. Just because nowadays people's, including my own, sometimes like our attention spans are so, you know, so small. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But yeah, you're just trapped in a basement and you have to escape. And there's like, that looks cool. Honestly, I just like horror stuff. If my shirt didn't give it away.
Hey, maybe we'll have you on again to talk about some horror stuff too. I mean, I think
I'm a movie savant, by the way, too.
yeah. See that's what I thought we were going to talk about here too. I was like maybe movies too.
I guess it was just the sobriety just really been. It's just
It's been on your mind, you know.
it's on my mind because that's. I just want to. Because it's everywhere. I mean, I'm not personally tempted, but for most people, it's everywhere. You know what I mean? This might withdraw so bad, but it's been on my mind a lot. You know what I mean? Just because it's like bodybuilding. You know, every meal you take, or every meal you eat, matters. You know, going to the gym matters. You know what I mean? Same thing with sobriety. Like, it's just always on your mind because you can slip up so quick. Bodybuilding, eat the wrong food for a couple days, see what happens to your physique. You know, like bloated or you hold more water, whatever the case is. Same thing with sobriety. Like you ruin all this time, days, like hope, and all this mental power to, you know. So it's on my mind a lot. But yeah, I still love film. Don't get me wrong. But I definitely want to do the more directorial side of things, like write my own short TV series, you know, and then maybe even like act in it or something like that. But again, first you got to get yourself right before you can really reach your potential, you know. So.
And for anybody watching, do you have anything set up in terms of like on Twitch? Like, do you have like something they can go to if you do end up, you know, streaming, or do you have a YouTube set up for that yet?
Yeah, so I do have a YouTube for it, but I won't release the name and stuff just yet, because I kind of want to get like it all together. Like I made the account, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I definitely want to maybe even get like a backlog, you know what I mean? Just to kind of have it out there. I have a pretty busy schedule here shortly. But no, everything's in the works. Honestly, the only thing is really just I want another monitor. So, but then again, it also like it's good to have like those short-term goals, you know, because you can definitely just work more, you know. Like honestly, working has been big in my sobriety too. You know what I mean? Just work as much as you can, because you just hard work is the key. You know, even my friend, he it was a really bad divorce, and he didn't take a day off work. He just kept working, and people couldn't believe he was at work. But I'm telling you, if you're depressed, go to work. I'm telling you, I know it sucks, but dude, like if you're trying to get sober, just go to work, because the more time you have in boredom, the more you get in your head, and you are your own worst enemy. You know, just self-justify to yourself. Just get out there and do something. Whether it's go to the gym, go for a walk. Just go to work, just make money, do something positive. You know what I mean? And then your brain is so busy that you don't have time to sulk. You know what I mean?
And I think, you know, by work too, work can mean actual work, making money, going to the gym, whatever that work is, you know, like you mentioned, keeping your mind sort of working on something. So, um, but I think if you do ever release anything, just search for Danzig Holland, maybe, and you might find it out there. Maybe if it's out,
Underscore Danny Dax is what everything.
underscore Danny Dax. In the future, you should see something soon, hopefully.
No, most definitely. Honestly, I mean, I don't even need the second monitor. I think it's just I'm like a control freak in things like this. You know, when it comes to like my like art and stuff like that, I just want everything perfect. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I already know how to edit. You know what I mean? Like I've Adobe Premiere Pro like my whole life. But I think I'm just again your own worst enemy. Some people are just afraid of that success. You know what I mean? So like my next day off, I'm like I should stream today, and I'll be like, well, dang, what game should I do? Think about it for a day, or like, dang, how do I want this to? You know what I mean? I think it's just your own worst enemy, and you just got to do it. You know what I mean? So, but here's shortly, yes.
Well, I'm excited to see what the future holds for you, and I hope that if you're somebody out there that is trying to get sober, that this conversation helps you, and hopefully some of your future content will help them as well. Um, and kind of staying in sort of that same line, I remember a few weeks ago, we had come here for my little sister's birthday, and we were talking about cravings, right? And you told me that coming off of alcohol, you had a huge sweet tooth, right?
Yeah, I think I was just drinking a lot of my sugars.
Yeah.
But now I'm getting my big bag. Big bag.
And I kind of understand that because I was cutting weight for a while, as I mentioned in a few other videos, and that sweet tooth hits you like crazy, right? When you start, going cold turkey on certain things. Um, and if there's one thing I'm doing now, it's snacking. I love snacks, and at least being somebody that counts my macros, I don't overindulge, but I just love snacks. Like I my cabinet, especially at home growing up, just full of snacks. And so what I decided to do was create the ultimate snack tier list. And so you've probably seen that video now, and we just rated Marisa's favorite snacks and put them on the tier list. And so every guest I have on here, I get their top 3 snacks, and we're going to rate them and put them on the tier list. So we have your snacks here of choice that I got here. And I guess I'll just grab the first one out of here.
Yeah.
So,
Looks familiar.
yeah, he's got a bag back here. Look at this. We got the sunflower seeds, which I haven't had a lot of outside of high school baseball. But we got the Spitz cracked pepper flavor, which I couldn't tell you the last time I had a sunflower seed, to be honest. So I'm kind of excited about this.
Definitely have to check that out.
And
It's the best.
sunflower seeds. I've never looked at the macros for sunflower seeds, but 3 servings in a bag. 3. So there's no way you're overindulging on it. You could have the whole bag and it's only 3 servings. That's pretty epic.
The best thing about eating sunflower seeds is like it's so weird. This is one of the times why I don't want to say this, but it's like so I have an empty water bottle, a clear one, and I just put it in there. I was watching it grow.
Oh, shit.
The empty.
Well, let's try some of these out, yeah? I mean,
put-
you've had these plenty of times, right?
Yeah. Oh, shit.
One thing about sunflower seeds.
You gotta get a good pinch. You gotta get a good pinch, and then just
Mm,
in the corner, and all of them together.
interesting, let's see. You get the flavor first? Okay.
I know. I remember there was this one maniac I used to remember. I used to know. He would only eat sunflower seeds just for like the flavor, and then not even eat it and spit it out.
Dude, I think I remember my problem with sunflower seeds is I would always eat one at a time because everybody in baseball would have it in the corner and would be able to eat one at a time.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's so hard for me to distinguish the shell from the inside. So I'd eat the shell so often, which I feel like I'm doing now. If you can have me a napkin.
That'd be so funny if like you're just spitting out like the actual seed and you're just swallowing the shell.
So let's start off with taste. Sunflower seeds, in general, are always going to have a more mild taste than other snacks. In the whole realm of snacks, that's what he says. In the whole realm of snacks, when it comes to taste, I think most sunflower seeds, specifically this black pepper one, is pretty good. The cracked pepper, it's very mild but good, which I like more mild things. I would give these, for taste out of 10, I'd say right around a 5. Not bad. Not amazing. It's a very mid taste, It's nothing crazy, but it's not a bad taste. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, they're not really fulfilling. It's just there.
It's just there. Yeah.
Like I told you earlier, you gotta be doing something. You know what I mean? So it's not like too much to where you feel like, oh, I'm full, or I feel like I'm like it's just there.
Yeah, and I think the macros on these two are pretty great. I mean, again, unless you destroy a whole bag in one sitting, you're not going to hurt yourself having.
Salt. I feel like the salt's probably high. Probably my cholesterol sucks.
I mean, the sodium levels, for your daily value, one serving, so a third of the bag is only a third of your daily value.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and I doubt you're even having half the bag or even up to a
Oh,
third.
dude, I have like wings 4 days a week. Ain't showing up.
Yeah, in the weeks. Hey, if that was considered a snack, we've had that on. We probably have
I
that
have
on
some in the
here.
fridge now if you want some.
I'm good. I'm good for now. We had some Korean barbecue. That was great.
My stomach hurts.
For macros though, I'm gonna give these honestly like solid 7. I feel like you could definitely like use these as a good snack, especially if you're have some fitness calorie goals.
Are there protein sunflower seeds?
It's a great question. Probably not. I don't know if
How
that's
would they even do
possible.
that?
Yeah.
You put like protein powder instead of the.
But it's like 180 calories per serving, right? Only 500 calories per package. You're talking 18 grams of protein per package, 6 grams of protein per serving, 15 grams of fat. Like, it's pretty good. Macro wise, it's pretty good. Price, these are cheap. I mean, sunflower seeds, depending on where you buy them at, this bag was like $3-4.
Yeah, they have
So,
another flavor which I messed up on. I got before. Not the Spitz brand, cracked pepper. Worse. It's got to be the Spitz.
I've seen they had cracked pepper, I think like the Biggs brand.
Yeah, don't.
And then they have another brand too I saw, but I specifically went to a Shell gas station to buy these because they didn't have them at King Supers, they didn't have them anywhere. So I was like, I looked it up and it said Shell gas station. But on the tier list, sunflower seeds, C tier, not bad, but I wouldn't say anything crazy good. Don't kill me for this.
I can accept that.
So the next snack we have.
Yeah.
First chips on the tier list, hot Funyuns.
Big chipper.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking here. I love chips, and especially spicy things, spicy food, spicy chips.
Remember one time, see when I was drinking a lot, I had a family bag. I ate all of it in one night because I kept playing games on this.
Oh,
And I realized I ate it all. And I got so messed up drinking, I forgot that I ate a full bag. And the next day, when I took a number 4, number 4 by the way, that's how crazy it was. But when I took a number 4, I realized that it was red. So I thought I was done. But it was
ooh.
actually just hot Funyuns. Yeah.
Well, let's give these a taste. I've had these, so I know what they taste like. But let's just one more time for. Mm.
I mean, see, I'm so old. I'm so old that I remember when these didn't even exist. They just had like the regular Funyuns. Like they just pulled these out like 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. Taste wise, I love these. I mean, Funyuns. I love the crunchy texture. It's like a very different texture to any chips you will ever have.
The best part about them is you can just let it accumulate on your fingertips.
Mm.
Just like mine.
That saltiness, and I think the flaming hot adds that extra sort of element to it that it sort of needs. Because with regular Funyuns, I feel like that taste gets a little tiresome
Yeah.
after a while. But these you can really just smash, which is a problem. Taste wise, these are getting, in my opinion, an 8. When it comes to like flaming hot snacks, a lot of people love these. And
Cheeks.
you don't like Takis? I haven't had them in a while. They'll be on this tier list.
Everyone I get is just stale.
I-
My sister's amazing too. She's not talking with regular hot chips. She'll like lick off like a regular hot Cheeto. She'll lick off the hot Cheeto dust and throw it back in the bag.
That's
When we would share, I would literally lose my mind.
that's foul.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, police. Macro wise, 140 calories per serving, about 2 servings per bag, which is pretty good. A whole package of this package is only 270 calories. Which is pretty good. Like if you smash this, you're not breaking your calorie goals. Um, only for the whole bag, 12 grams of fat, carbs 37, barely any sugars, 4 grams of protein. Like the only thing about these is really like sodium and the fat. But this one specifically, these Funyuns, not a lot of fat. Like you're not killing yourself on the calories. Macro wise, honestly, these are like 28 grams per like the whole bag is 270. You can eat this whole bag and not feel bad if you're in a calorie deficit like myself.
How much protein does that have?
Only 4 grams of protein, but if I'm eating something like this, I'm not really looking for
But
protein.
4 grams of protein. So if I were to eat like 400 little bags of that, will I get jacked?
Considering you'd also be having 400 bags of the calories, probably not. Definitely have a calorie surplus. You'd be on the ultra bulk. So
Hopefully I'll go with my bottom half.
yeah.
Looks like I got a BBL.
I think macro wise, I'm going to give these an 8 as well, because especially calorie wise, these are not bad at all. When it comes to price, chips generally are pretty cheap. A bag like this, you're talking, you know, $2, $3, $4, depending on where you buy them from. Also an 8. These are up there. These might be the highest rated things so far.
Most definitely.
And I think when it comes to the tier list, these are going in A tier. These are pretty damn good all around snack. Great choice, I gotta say. Great choice. So definitely better than the sunflower seeds,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Most definitely.
And finally, the last snack we have here, another candy. And what's funny is I saw you earlier biting into one. He asked me earlier if I wanted a piece of a Butterfinger. Yeah, it's literally right here. But we have Butterfingers. Before I open this up, we.
You didn't eat them all, I know.
When it comes to candy in general, I was talking about this with Marisa's candy. Macro-wise, it's never that bad. 2 little bars for 170 calories, 7 grams of fat, 3 grams of protein. The thing that kills candy is obviously the sugar. 2 bars of these, you're talking 15 grams of sugar, which, you know, about a third of your sugar intake for the day. So if you have, you know, 3 or 4 of these, you could be in trouble. Depending on what else you eat in a day. But
Or you can starve yourself the whole day and only eat candy. Maybe underneath that calorie line. Yes.
I've done that too is the problem. That's my problem with snacks is there's days where I'm like, oh, I don't have enough calories for meals because I snacked all my calories.
You know what's crazy is everyone I met, or a lot of people I've met that are really into fitness, they're the biggest snackers and like sweet tooth people.
Mm-hmm.
But someone like me that like doesn't care about the gym really, like literally, like it wasn't until I got sober. She's off camera. She knows. Literally, because I grew up in a military household. Like her stepdad, master sergeant, all that other stuff. We didn't have snacks at all. We just ate dinner. Well, we had meals. You know what I mean? But besides that, no snacks. Like, so now, yeah. It's only until I got sober actually was like, ooh.
Ours was the opposite, man. We had snacks galore. Butterfinger, taste-wise.
Well, that's not good. No one wants to hear that.
I mean, some people love that ASMR, you know. Taste-wise, pretty damn good. I'm not a milk chocolate guy, but there's so much of the like brittle and what else is in this?
So it's a nice mixture of like it's soft on the outside and then crunch in the middle.
Mm-hmm. The texture is fantastic. I mean, that peanut buttery taste too. It's different from like a Reese's, you know.
It does stuff and get stuck in your teeth.
Yeah. Overall taste though, I'm gonna give those a 7 because they're solid. They're really solid. Macro wise too, outside of the sugar, it's not that bad. Macro wise, mostly because of the sugar, I'm gonna give them a 7 as well. Price, you can get these as cheap or as expensive as you want. Candy's in general cheap. Like this bag was like $3, dude. Like it's not bad at all, and that's a lot, you know.
It's gonna last me like 4 days.
Yeah. Depending on who you are, this could last you as long as you want it to, you know. Price wise, I'm gonna give these an 8. And you'll see the score here. And when it comes to the tier list, Butterfingers, as their name indicates, are going in B tier. They're good. What can you say? They're not mid, they're not bad, but they're also not S or A tier. They're B tier. They're not up there with the Funyuns, but they're not with the sunflower seeds. Some great snack choices, though, in general. And that's kind of it. You know, this, again, was Danzig Holland. Thank you again. Thank you for your time. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.